How's it going, my fellow flesh and blood players? I hope you're all doing well today. So a few weeks ago I did make a post on Facebook about going undefeated in my armory. If you're not on there, you can look up Night Fable and find me there. And the post did catch a lot of interest, so I decided to make a deck tech video for everyone. You probably already know that the hero that I went undefeated with is Katsu the Wanderer. So why Katsu? He was the first classic constructed build that I made. He is my favorite lore character in the world of Wraith. Also, in a gameplay aspect, I like that even though they have a good idea of what's coming to them, you can still surprise your opponent. Right off the bat, something that I do different in my Katsu build is I run the Zimfar Needles. I did see the calling where the judge ruled that even though you use a attack reaction on the stack, the defense phase resolves and it's still going to break your needles if it's larger than the base power. I still have cards that I can work around that. I like using the needles to start off strong, and you'll see what I use later for late games. I'm going to discuss the equipment here that I use. We're going to start off with the helmet piece. I use the Pouncing Lynx. The Mask of Momentum, a lot of people will always break that chain. It does help get a card out of their hand, but then you also don't get to draw the card to get what you need to keep running your line consistent and smooth. That's why I prefer the Pouncing Lynx. Next is the chest piece. I use Hardened Cross Strap. I prefer this over the tunic because this allows me to run a free Surging Strike. So if I have a hand that I want to use every card, I can just pop this and I could pretty much run the whole line for free for a turn. Then we have the leg piece, Breeze Rider Boots. I really like having the Battle Worn for early game, and the ability is really nice for if you have a combo card in hand that can't gain go again, and then you also have another one that's in the same boat. You can use this and be able to run a longer line. And then, it might surprise some, but I run Flick Knives as my arms. This is a way for if you know that your needles are going to get broken this turn, you use it, they block it out, which loses a card from their hand, and then the next attack that you swing with, an attack reaction, use the Flick Knives, and then that way, even though they block that out, you can still throw 1 damage at them before they break when the whole chain closes. So now we're going to get into the main deck. So when I thought about the combo lines I was going to do, I wanted something that was going to be consistent, do as much damage as possible, and I also wanted to make sure every card was throwing at least 3 damage in. So I decided to use the Surging Strike line. I went Rainbow on it because it is the start of the combo line, so I want to make sure I have it every turn. After that, I used Descendant Gust Wave. Because I use Surging Strike, it's going to make the resource be 1 less and give it +2. Also has Go Again. And even though the blue pitch has a base attack of 1, with the Surging Strike's ability, it makes it come in for 3. Then we have Bonds of Ancestry. This is what allows you to be able to search stuff out of your graveyard to help you complete the line that you're trying to achieve. Or you can end up getting a Fluster Fist that's a 0 for 4 to come into the end of your chain line as well. I don't run the blue pitch in here because it's only swinging for 2. Then, if you haven't guessed it already, I run the 3 Dishonors. This is what makes this whole combo line very scary, because if that does come through, you are making the opponent's hero lose all its abilities until the end of the game. And there are some ways to beef it up, with the Bonds of Ancestries coming right before it will make it be a 4 base instead of 2. And there's also attack reactions you can use as well to beef it up to try and make it go through. Now I'm going to talk about the second combo line that I'm running in here. It is also based off of the Surging Strike. I'm just showing the 3 red bee-like waters that I use here because that's also another way that you can start your Surging Strike line, and then you're only paying for 1, but you also got to make sure that hits as well. Then I'm running a full set of red and yellow Whelming Gust Waves. The only reason I don't run 3 of the blue pitches is because even with the Surging Strike ability in effect, I'm only coming in for 2, and I really prefer to be coming in for at least 3 or more. I might pronounce this wrong, but I'm running 3 Mageshi Release. The reason why I run 3, some people run less, but it's still a 1 cost for 4, which to me is still strong. And if it is right after the Whelming Gust Wave, then you're going to be running this Lord of Winds combo here, which I run 3 of these. I've rarely pulled this off, but it is very nasty when you do. And it's something that you want to do more late game, because what Lord of Winds does is helps you rebuild your deck, and you're re-putting in all those main combo lines that you want to be running consistent. Now, I do run 3 red Fluster Fists. The reason I do is because it's a 0 cost for 4, which is really good, and then you can also break your Breeze Rider boots to give it go again if needed, and it is nice to pull out of your Bonds of Ancestry line as well. Now I'm going to talk about some of the attack and defense reactions that I use in the deck. We're going to start with these 3 red Razor Reflexes. I really like these for Dishonored and Whelming Gust Wave if you really want to make sure that stuff hits. That way you're able to draw your card that you are looking for, and you definitely want to try and make that Dishonored hit. It does also help with the needles if possible, but if they do block with a 3 or greater, it's still going to break it, but at least you're going to be running in some damage. Then I am running 3 Ancestral Empowerment. I mean, this is just a fantastic card. You get to pump up your card for 1 attack, and you get to draw a card. Then I am running 3 Concealed Blades. I am running 2 weapons in my sideboard, and this is a way for you to get one out of your inventory and still have a weapon in hand for when your needles break. Then I use 3 Knives Out. It is very different than everybody else's build, but I really like these for the needles because you can use a attack action card first, use this, and then instead of your needles having a base attack of 2, they're going to have a base attack of 3. I run 3 red Sink Belows. I really like these because it does help a lot with hand fixing, but I also have 3 red Flick Flacks in my sideboard for the really heavy hitters. It does help for you to be able to beef up your combo cards' defenses. And then the weapons that I have in my sideboard for Concealed Blade is the Kodachis, which everybody knows and loves. It's a very interesting deck build that I feel that I've made. It's very similar to most of the Katsu decks. I just think there's a few things that I've changed that works for me. It might not work for everybody else. Every hero is different and everybody plays heroes in a different way. So if you haven't yet, please hit the like button and subscribe. I am mainly a lore channel here, but I do some competitive play, and when I have a deck that does really well, I think it is kind of nice to show you what I've created. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video.